I'm Jonathan with Kendrick Equipment. I'm here today with Thomas Summers.
I'm the Director of Maintenance here at Sno-King. I've been with the company for about 6 years. I started off as just a part-time Zamboni driver looking to get some free ice time, and eventually I just kind of fell in love with the whole operation of it and worked my way up to full-time. Eventually took over managing one of our locations here at Snoqualmie. And then in 2024, January, I took over all 3 of the rinks. I was grateful to have the company trust me and the systems that I tried to implement here at this first rink and then expand them out, because I realized that there wasn't a ton of clear documentation on how to best take care of the machines, how to minimize downtime. And I remembered when I was a driver starting off, it's hard enough to learn how to operate these machines safely and provide good ice. But then when you have things going wrong with the machine and you don't quite know how to solve it, and you reach out to your manager and they're not sure, it's a really stressful experience. So when I took over the role as a manager, I really wanted to make sure that the people coming after me wouldn't have to go through some of those same experiences. So we started to really get our documentation going. I took CIT courses. We really implemented some of that knowledge. But really what helped us take that next step was partnering with Zamboni directly and Kendrick to really start to up that level of training and get that documentation more clear, so that we aren't just taking our best stab at it, but we're really actually understanding how the equipment works, why the maintenance is necessary. And you tend to get your guys to do things more when it isn't just grease it, just do it because I said so. They know why, and then they feel more invested and bought into the equipment. So going through this whole journey, it's really been big to have that support, because I don't have a ton of background in hydraulic equipment or really knowing how to fix these things on my own. So having the tools, resources, all the videos online were really helpful in just making myself feel confident that I can lead my team so that they can safely operate the machines. We can create a better product on the ice, and overall everyone benefits.
We talked to Jamie earlier and he mentioned that training for you guys has been key. Would you say that the partnership with Zamboni and Kendrick has improved your ability to get training in the local market?
Oh, absolutely. So when we went out to your first partnership between Zamboni, Kendrick, and Kennewick, that was a huge experience for a lot of the individual managers that I have at each of my rink, so they can really get that extra training that I had learned from word of mouth. When you're talking with the techs, they share some of that knowledge. But when they can see it in person, actually see a machine, flip a conditioner upside down, really know the components, that allowed them to really take more ownership and feel more confident in doing stuff more on their own rather than having to outsource and call. You guys are still always there if needed, but we're able to take on more stuff on our own, and that helps us really make sure that we limit issues.
When you call Kendrick, is it mostly for things that are emergencies, or do you guys have kind of a rhythm to how you use us as a partner?
Usually it's more for the emergency stuff when we have critical issues, but we do schedule out our annual service. We really like to make sure that we catch things early, because usually if we see a problem, we hear something weird, we can get some footage of it, send it over to your techs to know, it's an old machine, it's creaking a little bit, or ooh, this is a sign of early wear. Let's swap it out before it becomes a critical failure. It costs a little bit more up front, but in the long term we save, because the critical downtime not only costs us the parts, but potentially canceled programming, the stress and headache of rescheduling. So really having that routine service not only helps us in the preventative costs, but then your techs also get really good at knowing our machines, so they can notice other things really early on, help us plan out, hey, I'm seeing this one structure here, it's gonna probably need to be replaced in 2 years. That helps us put it on our budget, and then we're not as shocked by times when we get hit with a big bill. And that really helps us be more successful in our business.
So have you seen value in annual inspections?
Oh, absolutely. It's a really good peace of mind knowing that we're not gonna have this big curveball thrown at us. Some fluke things do happen, but mainly we've got really good, thorough looks at it. They break it down by each part, really give us a good understanding of, you could fix this now, but you could probably stretch it out a little bit, and it really helps us with budgeting out those costs, because these machines are expensive, but we don't want to spare anything. We don't want reactive maintenance. We want preventative maintenance, and those annual inspections and that really point-by-point line that you go down really helps us catch all the problems early.
Thank you very much for letting us come in today. We're going to utilize some ice time here and go out on the ice and record a little bit more training on how to listen to a Zamboni and make sure you're telling us as a distributor and a service provider what you're hearing.
Well, we really appreciate your time and looking forward to our partnership.
Thanks, Thomas.